Welcome back. Now, one of the features of these games has been the fact that global superstars like Usain Bolt have turned up and delivered some memorable performances. Well, in the sport of basketball, superstars don't come bigger than the USA's dream team. Guys like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James and Kevin Durant are A-plus listers. Standing in the way of a 14th gold medal for the USA are Spain, the second best team in the world.
Welcome to London 2012 and the basketball. And launches the three and hits it. And look at that pass.
Goes up with the two hands and stuffs it with some anger.
It's a three.
This game has been out of control for a while. The inmates have been running the assignment. There's your all-star showing up.
And the fat lady has started to sing. And Spain has defeated Russia, and they will advance to the gold medal game. Now it's Durant, and he hits it. That's a thing of beauty.
Long way to go, but Team USA clicking.
Well, certainly Great Britain haven't had a lot of success at these games in basketball, but we have had players who've made the grade at the highest level in the NBA, including BBC commentator John Amaechi.
I got into basketball when I was 17 years old, which is relatively late for any sport, really. I was walking down Market Street, which is the main shopping street in Manchester, with a pasty in my hand, and a man came up to me and said, "Do you want to play basketball?" That was it. This was the only place to play. This is the only place. This was at one time the only basketball court in Manchester. The first time I walked into a gym to play, I walked in and it was a bit of a revelation for me, because they looked at me and they were like, "He's on my team." So it was the first time I realized that being huge can actually be a commodity. Backboard going to take it. Makes life more difficult without net. My first coach in basketball was a man called Joe Forber, who is the closest thing to a dad that I've ever had. He looked at me and said, "When are you going to take this seriously?" And from that, I took the idea that he thought I could play in the NBA. And he was the coach that said to me, "You've got to go." Going to America was a complete shift, a complete change for me. You get there and you suddenly realize that, especially in a basketball context, for every single scholarship, there are tens of thousands of athletes. My getting into the NBA was an incredibly tumultuous period of time, because the normal way you get in the NBA is to be drafted. I was good in college, I was really good in college, and I wasn't good enough to get drafted. So after that, I went to Cleveland and I tried out until eventually I was told, you can hang around for a little bit longer. There is something amazing about suddenly being a part of the NBA, because it's like you've been reading a comic book your whole life and then all of a sudden you're in it. My first ever game was against the Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and this amazing unit. I looked up, I kind of stole a glance at the crowd of 20-odd thousand people and I thought, I did it.
Amaechi dunked to put the Magic on top.
Now is the time that people know the British basketball player in Luol Deng. And that's how it should be. They should know the very best, and he's the very best there's ever been. He's, you know, leaps and bounds better than I was as a player. I can live with the fact that people don't know who I am. As long as they know that there was somebody before now.
John Amaechi goes right at him, both Duncan and Robinson.
How big was that one for Mr. Amaechi?
A fat kid with NHS glasses and no money in their family, who started playing the game at 17, did it. The most improbable of people in the most unlikely of circumstances can become extraordinary.